guys, today I'm going to speak about the Federal Reserve meeting. Well, I think it was a mistake by Powell. I think Powell is a great president of the Fed or chairman of the Fed, and I think that some of the moves that he does are very, very good for the economy and how he managed the economy and stuff. But in that of the end of the tightening cycle, I think that is the his impossibility of control inflation, and then he's just going to let everyone print the money, and he's going to fix and nationalize the bonds. And there's two thirds, no, one third of the bonds are owned by the Fed. The bonds of the Treasury, and today the bonds went down. That means that is like a path, a Japanization of the economy, and I think that many people is going to speak about that because the unemployment went up 1.1% this week, and I think he didn't signal that in his conference. Well, I arrived late because of the schedule change time sometime. Well, I was mistaken today. I was like, I live like in this wonderland with this motherfucker, so it is a little bit like hard. you know. So it doesn't matter. I think that everything that he says, he points about that every meeting they are going to see if they are going to hike or pause. I think that that is good, but it leaves open any possibility. That is good. All the cards under the table, on the table, and I think that is good because he can, well, then make an action on the interest rate. I think that the natural interest rate for USA has been 12.5% last decades, because if you see, like, most likely the in average the property goes up like 20%, 25% average per year. That is the real estate business, is that what they live on, inflation, on property bubble, and then that bubble goes down in a abrupt end of the cycle, you know and that is how the economy has been run for the last couple of like, now it's like packages, you can say that, of money that goes into the economy, and the other is the productivity and the private sector that is not public owned by the market or the treasury, that is there at the end, the ones that prints the money, because now we live in a communist system. So basically what we need is net zero. And well, he maybe points a little bit of that when he talks about that the prices has been climbing, but if you see how much percentage it is, 0.25% of hike versus a rate that is already at 5.5%. It is less than, I don't know, less than, it is 5% more or less. So only 5% increase in the rate is not going to give you shown any signals. It's not going to show any signals in the market. You need at least another 5 points so you can clearly see the real estate uh, bubble going down. And because the inflation, for example, today here in Colombia, most of the things went up 5% also this month. There's been a lot of months that haven't. It's like, I don't know, say, maybe second hike of the year in prices. It's not that much, and I think well, it's okay. It's counter cycle and it's good here in Colombia. So I think the inflation is going global. The monetary problem is getting harder, and Powell says saying that he is going to stop hiking is bad. for the economy, and because the economy hasn't been affected. You know, we are growing there at 5%, I think. And for example, I am the guy that has the baby levels. You know, baby level is like when you the maximum that of the point when it goes up and then goes right back, the peak. You know, the baby levels. I always bet there. Yeah, in favor, and I have lost like 22%. And if the cycle is complete going down, that is not the big cycle, is just the stock cycle. It maybe goes to the S&P 500 to 3.8%. Yeah, I never bet against the American economy. Always in favor of the companies that I think that has future, and even I bet in Europe and in United Kingdom also, in the banking sector and pharmacy in Germany. Um, in banking sector of the UK. Well, either way, is the inflation is getting hotter. You know, if they don't take the inflation of the real estate, and that is what it truly makes the difference. You know, because you have properties of $1 billion, and then you have $17, $15 of hourly wage. It's a bubble of real estate, and they have to take that bubble of real estate and put it into Bitcoin, you know, and then they can cycle that shit whenever they want. Because in the real estate, they are affecting the population. They are creating a permanent class of like princes and prince, like Saudi Arabia, of everyone doing that there, and that is like a unsustainable. You know, it has to be work. You know, it has to be that above everything, because we are moving the economy and it's a generation change, and the boomers are getting older, and we have the work, we have the power also. You know, I know I'm not talking about the strikes, because the strikes in the U.S. I think that the cars were getting weaker in sales, so they make the strike, so everything goes well. And I think it's also symbolic, the role of Ford because of Biden and all the stuff. But what I see in Powell is that Powell today was not that happy at the last time that he was big speaking about everything, because he's saying something that is not true. You know, that he's going to end the tightening cycle. That is bullshit. You know, he has to see how he's going to control inflation of the things that he cannot control. Yeah, no matter how much credit and stuff, because he said that there was a point where he was $4 for every dollar of GDP. Now he is going to expand that to everything, and that is a bad model, bad economic model. That is communism, and it hasn't have to be like that. Yeah, because you can put a different model, and also that model to be able to package the debt and disappear it and stuff. That he is very good at that, and I think he should make a different. For example, if Biden continues as president, he should make a different policy for the next term. You know, maybe even going to Treasury and letting the chair to go to a person like an academic. You know, that truly cares about how the things are going. You know, I don't know. I just because. Uh, well, it can be applied net zero. They can take the credit, put that into the prices, add the utility or the well, what they are, the profit of that, and that is going to be the prices, and the prices can go up and down, and keeping the commodities down as he has been going, but with a net zero emissions from the Fed model. But he's not doing that at all. You know, he's not doing that at all, and I think that is a mistake. And he should, when he's going to raise rate again, when he finds out that communism is going to explode his inflation. I'm going to make the if the Colombian peso goes up, I'm going to raise my rate in this month. But because I think that here they are going, if they do that, they maybe print a little bit, but I'm going to keep raising, like real estate, like everything, attached to the real inflation, not to the prices in the streets, to the real inflation, the one that can pay it, or it's okay. If not, I'm going getting kicked because it's stupid, and Powell wants all the American taxpayers to happen the same thing, and I think that that is wrong, and obviously the Congress is going to say, oh no, that is affecting the credit, this that, and that is not true, because they have to say is that is affecting not the consumption, but that the taxpayers that do work hard, their jobs, their wages, how much is the power of purchase of that. That is what they have to be targeting, not just a communist holocaust, because they just, that people that has that, and all the cronies that they hire, all right, by the treasury and the model of the corporate welfare, that is good, but it has to be net zero so the others can compete, and the wages has a meaning and a demand, and business can, and the true economy be more than half of the American economy. They are like 55% of the global economy. That 55%, more than half of that, well, the GDP is like 25%, but that 25% has to be uh, 25 trillions. That is also more like, because it's 100 trillion of the whole world. That 25 trillion have to be at least 15 trillion true economy, and not printed corporate shit, because that is part of the empire model, that they have to send the inflation away and send the dollars away, so they buy here and stuff. But that makes them like China, and then stagflate them in the long run. And that is Powell's fault. It's the fault of the Treasury, and ultimately the Fed, the chairman of the Fed, him. Yeah, he has become a little bit crook in that sense, because he knows he's not good, but he's doing is bad. I know some of the things that I do are bad, and I try to be good, and I try to, and I know it's difficult, and I know, just imagine all the banks, everyone wanting the free money, and that's it. But if he doesn't continue making the rate hike before because if you have a problem and you make it a rate hike to above the problem, you solve it. But if you, like what he has been doing, take the problem, the can down, many years, then you're going to have to pay the fucking, and he just have to rate that. If I'm saying to him, hey Paul, you have to go and work like I do, and this and that, and also make that decision, that will be, I will be sure that he will be doing it, but he's not doing it because he's not making that. I think that this fucking connection is fucking down again, so I'm going to end it here. Bye bye.